Okay, last week we started something, and of course, we have to finish it. Oh man, ooh, we're only halfway there. This is our current list. We've got a good amount going right here. We do. But we still have more. So, I'm just going to jump into it. If you want to see how I'm doing rankings here and how exactly this is all working out, it's in the first video. That'll probably be in the links down below. Thank you all for making this a blast. Thank you for all the support on Patreon. All the fun times on Discord. If you want to join Patreon or join Discord, links are down below, or follow me on any platforms for social media and or for streaming, as I stream on all the major three. So hope you all are enjoying this. Let's get into it, because once again, this is still going to be a very, very long thing, as we're going to run into some really good ships this time. And we have to start off, of course, on a good note. So the Kirov, this is a great to buy ship. I don't know how they're going to bring this exactly back, but this is 180s at tier 5, decent reload, small size ship. This thing smacks. It's in line, in my opinion, for the first or second best tier 5 cruiser. Königsberg would be arguable in that situation, but it's a fun time. You'll enjoy it, and I'm kind of curious how they want to bring it back. So, going from great to buy to collectors, Krasny Krem. Want the worst ship in the game, or do you want a ship that forces you to play as a long-range cruiser to teach yourself in the worst way possible? This is the Krasny Krems right for you. So bad. And we just keep on playing the spectrum here. Kronstadt. This is great to buy. Going from the worst cruiser, or the best cruiser, to the worst cruiser to the best cruiser, in my opinion, of tier 9. This thing smacks anything. And besides the bad AA, which you can fix with a teammate or just plain well, it's a Citadel melting machine. It's a fantastic battle cruiser. And in my opinion, really, tier for tier, it's better than the Stalingrad, only because it can get to tier 8s. Because it goes God mode in those tiers. Absolutely a blast. Hardly ever happens, but those rare times are a blast at tier 8. But in my opinion, Kronstadt can still hold its own. It's an amazing tier 9 ship, and those are pretty rare, actually. So, let's keep on going. Leningrad, this is definitely, it's a niche. I'd kind of argue it's more of like a good trainer, but it actually has usable torps in it, the Minsk class. So if you're like, hey, the Minsk class isn't bad, but I'd like usable torpedoes, there, it's good. Maybe arguably playable, but I'd kind of want to put more near niche, where it's more of just a good captain trainer. So, Les Terribles, this is niche, and only because it's an extremely light cruiser. Yes, it's not a DD, it's a light cruiser, as much as the DD designation is there, with rapid reload 3 and acceleration 3. It's a bat out of hell. It's a blast to play, but that blast to play will get you killed sometimes, so it's not for everyone. I really hope that the entire French DD line comes from this and is just generally better, but at the same time, I hope that it still follows that same playing style out, because it's going to be a blast when it actually, if they come out in that style, it's going to be a blast, but I wouldn't suggest it for everyone. So, London, this is a up-tiered Exeter, if you like that play style. It's kind of got all the Exeter problems, but amplified because it's the higher tier up. It's okay. I know. I wouldn't say it's great. But Lo Yang, this is actually something that I'd probably want down in the comments below. But everyone that I talk to, it's a collector ship. Because as some person said this to me, and this I have to say this outright. So, yes, Alex, I would like to take boring reskins for 500. I was like, that's actually a pretty good assessment of the Lo Yang when you actually look at the stats. It's a Benson. It's a Benson. That's it. There are better destroyers to get. That's about it. Mains. This is good. This is a very solid ship. I would highly suggest it if you want a smaller gunned hipper. It's basically a Nuremberg on steroids. So why, yes, talk dirtier to me. I really want this ship. But in that vein, not this dirty because the Marblehead's abhorrent. Abhorrent. No. It's Omaha. But somehow it's just worse. Worse than Murmansk. What do you mean? I want that 15-kilometer ability at tier 5. Just for the lulz. Come on. Just make it happen. Massachusetts. This is good. And it's a... I kind of have to preface this. So, as Hiromi said, this brawling battleship is a weird one because it's not like any other brawling ship, which is a German ship. But, God, it's just a better NC or better North Carolina class. But the problem is that's such a low bar. But I've seen so many Massachusetts do so well, too. And it is quite scary when you actually get close to them with their secondaries. So I'm going to say good just because the niche is sort of fun. It's just, it's kind of like you're playing PC on Blitz because you're just like, you can't control the secondaries. So it's very simple, very easygoing, and it does well. So I don't think you can argue with that. Maya, this is definitely a niche ship. I would argue it's better, but of course I kind of have to temper my bias. So it's a Takao, but with good AA, and it's a slightly better cruiser. I hate this. It's slightly better than the Takao in my opinion because it's more versatile. It can play with any type of team comp compared to the Takao, where if you have a carrier in your team, it kind of sucks. But for me, IJN cruisers aren't for everyone, so put it in niche. Maya's an amazing ship, and once I finish the Battle Honors with the Takao, I wouldn't be surprised if I sell it and just play the Maya from there, because then you don't have that weird third turret that occasionally is just like, which way am I pointing? Which way? every IGN cruiser captain knows exactly what I'm talking about. Be like, I'm pointing over here, that turret. I'm over here. It's so bad. Mikasa. It's a collector. It's a tier 2 ship. It's more for historical value. If you want to taste the history and go down to tier 2 occasionally with arguably one of the worst ships at tier 2 in my opinion. Yeah, it's there. But let's get out of this niche and collectors area. Mikhail Kutuzov. Great to buy. Right straight up. So, all those other tier 8 cruisers, I told you there was a better one. This is it. MK is an amazing fire starting ship, and it has a smoke, and one smoke doesn't seem like a lot, but it helps in so many situations that people forget how clutch it actually is. Let alone you get insane torpedoes for your tier that aren't long range, but you get a crap ton of them per side, which of course if you use your smoke right, you can land a lot of torpedoes on some ships that are pushing on you, let alone all of them are going to be on fire, and or you can use the smoke to stay alive long enough to let those fires burn someone to the right back to port. It's an insane ship. It's a great cruiser player ship, and yeah, I really can't suggest it enough. This is the tier 8 cruiser that in my opinion is one of the best in the game. So as much as I like others, Kutuzov is just so solid. So, and let's go on this Missouri, the mighty Mo. Absolutely. This ship, most tier 9s, you have this problem of, they're always up tiered. Missouri, you don't actually really give a crap about it. It's a solid set of skills with radar and precise aim. The guns are just straight up amazing. Its AA is good. You will enjoy this ship. She will treat you well back. Makes sense. So, Mighty Mo, great to buy. Always suggest it. Mogami. It's an IJN Mikhail Kutuzov, but thick. It's playable in my opinion. Arguably niche, but it catches shells. It's just the armor and how big it is. It just doesn't do as well, but I have had some people say that, hey, maybe you need a bow tank in the ship because you can have the 3 9 guns in front, which arguably is pretty good for tier 8 and everything like that. It's just the torp angles kind of kill it, and there's more rewarding tier 8 ships to play. So, yeah. Oh, Molotov. This is a good ship. I don't know why I paused there, but a lot of things going on here. It's a Kirov, but tier 6. I definitely say it challenges the Nuremberg for being one of the best tier 6 cruisers. It's a great ship with 180s and slapped things around. I bought it, and then the Kirov eventually became a premium. So I'd argue that the Kirov is better than the Molotov tier for tier, but the Molotov's still a blast. You'll enjoy it. It's pretty good. Whatever, this tier 5 playable crap. So the problem with Monaghan, if I'm saying it right, it's basically a tier 5 Shima once a game. The only problem is the Shima is also so deadly because it has stupidly fast torps. You have now stupidly slow torps. So, yeah, that's really basically it. Moskva, as much as I'd like to say how far the mighty have fallen, because a lot of people would agree with that statement. Pre-premium Moskva was insane. Post becoming a premium Moskva, it's still great to buy. It's an incredible... It really is the most solid tier 10 cruiser in my mind, and it still slaps hard. It can't start fires, but it's a dominating force in any game it's in. It can hunt DDs. It can support battleships against each other at long range. It's not as insane as it used to be, and I know people like to be like, it's just not good anymore. It's still good. It's just not as good, but in the meta where it is right now, it's still not a bad ship. You just, unfortunately, it used to be this laser beam sniper that would just, a 300 Win Mag at 500 yards, just absolutely, you'd fire and the shots would hit. It's just not there anymore, but it still hits hard. It still does it well. You just have to relearn how to play it. And so you might get a lot of people that say it's not good anymore, but to me, I don't know how they're going to bring it back, but in my opinion, it's still a great ship to buy. So arguably, pick it up if you like good, solid battle cruisers in this game. And its secondaries are kind of low-key good. So, Munchen. So this ship, it's an upgraded Nuremberg class, so it's playable. But it's kind of not out, but coming. So I'm going to say it's probably playable. Maybe it turns into a mains of that tier, but I really wouldn't. I don't know. Rather just get the mains. Musashi. So this is a down-tiered, no-skills Yamato. So if you want to discount Yamato, it's good, but I found it really boring at tier 9, and also you're just likely to run into your actual real, the sister ship, the Yamato, in the first place compared to regular. So I say niche if you like battleships. You might have some fun, but I don't know. I wouldn't suggest it. Yeah, I just wouldn't. Mutsu, I'd actually put this as good. So it's a Nagato class, which means it's already good. And it actually has some kind of funny torpedoes that oddly work well. I enjoy it. It's really a gunship. I don't know. It's just a really fun change up to the Nagato style. And those torpedoes just are so much fun to just pop and be like, pop, pop, and just kill a DD that's like assassination running you. So I enjoy it. It's a good ship. Nagato class is a very solid class in this game. And I feel like also the secondaries might be better. I don't know. But either way, it's good. Mutsu's good. Solid. Mysore asks for buying this ship. Why did I even do this? It's a piece of crap, has no good skills and only guns, which it really should have torpedoes, which it did in real life, supposedly. So, yeah, it basically is a collector's. I don't know why I had that. I like that. Nelson. So, this is great to buy. This is great to buy. Man, this list is getting big. So, it's a free XP ship, and the forward firing power in HE of this ship class is next to none. It's an insane ship that will probably be in the meta for a lot longer until there's another one that comes around of a similar style, because you'll see this in division battles, you'll see this in different tier 7 battles a lot, where it's just like this ship and its HE are just next to none, and its format makes it hard to hit, and you slap IFHE on this thing, and unfortunately you swap Citadel or like fires for Citadels. Yeah, right. It's kind of fun. But Nelson, it's a great to buy ship. Definitely worth the grind in its entirety. But yeah, I would definitely say pick up the Nelson. It's just a fun ship. It really is. It really is. Damn, this video is taking forever. I knew the second half would actually probably take longer than the first. So it's just there's so many good ships at this end that you just have to talk about them. So Akava, I don't know. Akava, pretty much. Realistically, it's a baby Smolensk without the meme, so it's playable. It doesn't have that meme factor. Technically, it is a tier 8 Smolensk, but the problem is that the Smolensk's gimmick is that it has just so many guns where the Akava doesn't. So remove the gimmick. What are you left with? A mediocre, really weak ship. So Octobres Revolution, it's a playable ship. It's a lot of guns. It's under guns for its tier, but it can still be kind of fun. It is. And anyone running the sun camo is weird. Pretty much. They just have problems, or that's the only camo they have. So I'd probably bet the latter, but they're still weird. Still weird. Odin. So, talking about a ship that pushes other ships out of area, Odin is insta-buy. So, or great to buy, I should say. This is a straight-up tier 8 Scharnhorst with all the proper upgrades for the tier bump. It's a great brawler at tier 8, and it really shows the upgrades that the Tirpitz kind of needs, but we'll get to the Tirpitz soon. Yeah. So, Ohio, a bigger gunned Montana. In my opinion, that's a great to buy situation. Montana's really solid, and you get bigger guns. That's better in my opinion. It's just going to be a pain because, of course, you're going to have to get this out of a crate. But in my opinion, this is a great pick for Tier 10. And I'm really interested to see how many of these get picked up during the Rulers of Wave 9 tournament. So we'll see how that goes. Hotnik. This is going in niche, and about everyone who plays against it understands it. But I learned a funny name for this, and I want to share this around from Discord. Absolutely amazing. The War Canoe. Really freaking good name for this. But the Ohotnik is an overgunned, over-torpedoed Tier 5 DD. It's just hilarious in all the right ways. It really is. It dies easily, but the amount of guns lets you just shoot from a distance and kill DDs, and then when you see a lone battleship, you're just like, I would like to put 16 torpedoes into you. You have no other choice, and I'm going to do it. Enjoy. It just is weird. It's a very weird ship. The War Canoe makes the most sense because it's so long. But I absolutely love it. It's a niche ship. I would suggest it, but also I think you can get it from the mission crates, so not exactly, you can get it for free, potentially. So, Perth. This is a collector ship, of course. It's a Leander class with fuel smoke. That's not an upgrade, that's a downgrade. So, yeah. If you want the ship. It's really kind of it. Poltava. This is a great to buy ship. This is one of the strongest tier 7 battleships with amazing guns, great secondaries. Rulers of the Wave 8 showed that this is the most meta ship because it's just an insane package. Pick it up while it's in the store right now because it's in the shipyard. It's worth it in every which way you use it. Just great guns, great package, everything like that. The Synup can kind of replace it, but the lower DPM hurts it. But just the battle cruiser battleship mix at that tier just works out so well. So well. But who wants a tier 9 Tirpitz? Palmerin. This, yeah. Some people will probably say this is more of a playable Denise ship. I enjoy it. It's just the evolution of going an absolute insane amount of guns, and I kind of can't wait for them to finally bring out like the triple gunned tier 10 Grosser Kurfürst, where that is a premium. I'd like that to show up sometime, and that's just going to be arguably another better up-tiered version of the Palmerin, which the Palmerin's a up-tiered version of the Tirpitz. This is a more modern take on the Tirpitz. I think the Tirpitz should get a lot of the upgrades that the Palmerin brings in ways, but to me, the Palmerin it's just fun. It's just fun. Yeah, it's not great, but it's fun. The skills are hilarious, and I really enjoy it. And also, for once, the anime skin doesn't look like crap. So, yeah. Prince Frederick. So, this is actually a good, solid ship. It really is. I don't know. It's a good brawling ship at tier 6. If that's what you want. It's there. Better than most. So, there. Kind of it. Sorry, it's not really that like a crazy ship. And then the Prince Eugen. This is a playable ship. It's unfortunate that it is a playable ship because you can get the legendary commander from the store from it with it in a bundle. There we go, the bundle. Man, my brain's just getting wrapped up in so much here. But Prince Eugen, I wish it would be better. It's unfortunate because it's just aged. It's just aged poorly. And it needs some buffs because there's a lot of other ships that have come in after it that are just better, even at what it does. So, yeah. Puerto Rico, this is another playable ship. It fixes the Alaska problem with the additional turrets, so the shotgun feels actually kind of worth it. But you get radar and AA. It's a good ship. It just takes too much damage because it's a heavy battlecruiser. I wish U.S. battlecruisers were better, but they're not, and hopefully they'll get some buffs in the future. Pietro Bagration, probably slaughtered that. Niche. So this is a gunboat only long range sniper. This is a 180 setup, AP focused, Mikhail Kutuzov with no smoke but decent skills and really the power combo. So in my opinion, the problem with this ship is that it's not meta for what it's trying to sell. So I would suggest it. It's kind of unique, but it's not something I would go out of my way for in any way. But if you like long-range gunboats, it's there, and it does arguably pretty well. So, Repulse, this ship is not out yet. I'm hoping that it's good, and I have a feeling that it actually might be pretty good. And the reason why is it's a lower-tiered British Ritchie. So think of a Nelson in a way. So maybe it could be better. Who knows? But that could be some fun. Could be some fun. I don't know what the skills will be or if there will be any skills of it. So we'll find out soon. Richelieu. So this is great to buy still, but it definitely doesn't have as solid gripping as other ships in this tier. So Ritchie, you want a less DPM but more AA powered Roma that works in my opinion in more team comps and can tank really well in caps without losing any firepower because, of course, it's all forward firing. Richie is an amazing tier 8. It's just kind of aged. That's really it. I AA spec it to have some fun with carriers, but it's still a solid ship for its tier. It really is. Its guns are pretty good. Its secondaries, I wish their angles were a little better, but that's kind of just the ship design. But taking a cap in a battleship and, hey, I'm only going to take 1 to 2 torpedoes, a spread, and everything like that, it's a really nice ship. Highly suggested for anyone. Definitely should check it out. But talking about the Roma, this is the great to buy ship. Rapid reload 2, precise aim 2. This combo of those two is the best in the game. You have a ship with that combo, they likely are carried by that. I know recently I feel like the Citadel rate has somehow gone down in some way, but in my opinion, the guns are just still so good for their tier. But it really kind of comes down to that the Roma, Richie, Mikhail Kutuzov, and there's about 2 or 3 other tier 8s that, in my opinion, make tier 8 such a competitive tier that ships coming out in that tier have to literally go, okay, are they the next Roma? Are they in the next Richie? Can they compete with these ships? And if they can't, not worth it. To at least certain players, they're not. And when in a Roma, if I'm in a tier 9, I'd almost rather do a tier 10s than I'd rather do with a Roma because of how powerful it is at its tier. And that's, once again, why tier 9 is kind of such a rough tier. But Roma is just an incredibly powerful ship. I would highly suggest picking it up. It's fantastic. So, same thing with the next ship, the Saipan. Carrier mains, I get this one for you. I don't need to say it any further. This is the only carrier I truly love having on my team because I know the enemy carrier will be effectively countered and I won't have to worry about them at all. This carrier shuts down other carriers and I love it. It doesn't really do that much damage, but the fact of the matter is that you balance the game by removing both the carriers makes the game fun. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave on that one. Sharni. This is good. It's a lower gunned tier with more guns. That sounds bad at tier 7, especially when I have such a high regard for the G, but it's a solid ship, and once you get APCS, it turns into an absolute monster. I love mine. I don't regret it. I think for the free XP amount, I think that was kind of stupid, but for all those who bought it for, what was that, like $12 at one point for a special deal, it's an amazing ship. It really is. It's a very solid tier 7, and even with how old it is, it still holds up pretty well, so I don't think you'll regret it. It's a good ship overall. Oh, man. I'm going to take a drink for this one. Oh, man. I'm going to lose my voice tomorrow, probably. Shukashima. Okay, everyone knows where this is going. Great to buy. No other ship can do what this ship does. It's the only ship with the biggest guns in the game. It's accurate. It's got a Yamato hull, not a Yami hull, but a Yamato hull. So I'm saying it right. It's tanky. You can see 10k citadels off it. Oh, it's just that hit of dopamine that you always want at the end of the day. I really wish I could pick the ship up on my regular account. It's just fun and stupid, and it hits hard. What else could you ask for? Especially have a ship that its whole gimmick is hitting hard and having fun. So I'd highly suggest it. It's great to buy if you want it. Don't fear. Don't fear. Siegfried, this is playable. It's a G at tier 9 with slightly better stats and is a cruiser. It exists. It can do well. That's pretty much it. Sims, good. It's a very, like, do you want a standard issue DD at tier 7? That's it. And the thing is, it's just good. Just good. Sorry, Sims isn't really anything to write home about. So, HMS Sirius, of course, right here. This is playable. It's a down-tiered Atlanta, but its reload rates sort of kill it for me. The Atlanta is just so amazing for its tier. So, this just not being as strong, it kind of hurts it. But, I don't know, it's that reload of the guns. It overall is a great package. That reload. Smolensk, the meme itself goes right to great to buy. This is disgusting and prints 100k damage games with ease. Noob players can make it do well. Experienced players can be devastating in a game. It's just how it is. This is the definition of broke in the right hands, but it is super easy to remove from game. So understand, if you play it right, you'll do incredibly well. If you play it wrong, you're just going to get sent back to port, but you're still going to do a crap ton of damage in that short period of time just because its gimmick is what it is. So, yeah, it's a Smolensk. Surprise, surprise. So, Somers, as much as this is a up-tiered Benim, Somers, in my opinion, goes into good because it's a better package overall. It's got centerline torpedoes, great guns. Yeah, they are stupidly slow, but I don't know why I'd rather bring the Somers every time that I'm like, hey, I want to play with a bunch of torpedoes. You know? Like, it's like, hey, I just want to do some meme. Send out 16 torpedoes into an area. I'd rather bring out the Somers for it. The guns just make it where it's just more capable. So, yeah. And plus, it does go on sale often because not many people enjoy those stupidly slow torpedoes. Next thing, Stalingrad. Great to buy. You want the Pietro line, but if it was good. This ship is a force to be reckoned with at tier 10. It's an amazing support ship, and I say support in the idea that you need to have support because DDs can absolutely sneak up on you and kill you pretty easily. At the exact same time, you are still, like, how do I put this? Yeah. This is if you were playing a role-playing game and a person put all of their points right into just nothing but strength and perception, but completely forgot intelligence. So they can shoot well and they can hit hard. That's about it. But that's a pretty good combo in this game. It's an incredibly strong ship. You won't regret it. And I really wish the Pietro line was its, non-premium counterpart, but it isn't. So Strasbourg, if I can find it, all this going on. It's a tier 7 Richie, and you'd think that'd be good, but I have not heard a single thing good about it. So it's a tier 7 Richie or tier 7 Dunker, depending on which way you want to tier up or tier down, but especially when there's a lot of good premium French ships, the Strasbourg's kind of the odd duckling. I just never heard really great things about it, so I wouldn't suggest it. Then again, at tier 7, you're starting to run into some really good ships at tier 7. And, of course, you have to play against tier 8, which, of course, has the likes of the Roma and Richie already, which you just get slapped. So, yeah. T61, this is, do you want a German premium? You want a tier 6 German ship that just got reskinned into a premium. Enjoy. Pretty much, yeah. Texas Collector's Edition. Yeah, pretty much. You get it for the name. It's not really that great. So, Thunderer, in my opinion, this is niche. And the reason is because its cost is just too high in the current shipyard. It's incredibly expensive. I really want it because it's basically a tier 10 Vanguard, and the Vanguard's a blast. But that cost just kind of makes me not want to even touch it. I think I could see 70 titanium for it, but not 70 steel as well. So I wish they would lower the price of the Thunderer. I really want it. It's a fun ship. High fire chance. Big guns. What's not to like? So armor's a little lackluster, but whatever. So, a ship that will be coming out soon. Not exactly sure everything with it, but I am going to immediately put it in a niche, and I hope it's better than that, because this looks like a Tier 8 Friesland cruiser. And I'm up for that. I'm up for that if that is good. That could be a lot of fun. It has Minotaur guns on PC, and at Tier 8 Minotaur guns with only 2 of them might be a little rough, but at the same time, could be a lot of fun. So, hoping it's good. But it's eventually coming out. That's been leaked. So, Tirpitz. This barely fits into good. She's a great ship, but she's kind of sat in port a little too much. Like her historical counterpart. She needs a little bit of buffs to kind of keep up with the likes of Odin and the Aegir and everything like that. I really wish the Tirpitz would be a better ship. I don't exactly know where to put the buffs, but in my opinion, it's barely fitting in good. Yeah. When I first bought the Tirpitz, almost a year and a half ago to 2 years, it was amazing, but nowadays not so much. So it barely fits in the good. If you want it for the historical value, you are going to enjoy it, but you're not going to be hitting those crazy games and crazy numbers as much as you wish. So, Tone, this is a collector's version. Oh, yeah. Plenty of talks on stream about this. It's an up-tiered Miyoko with bad torpedo bombers. You get nuked and you don't do enough damage since tier 7 damages aren't really that great, and the torpedo bombers aren't that great either. The torpedo planes, they aren't. It's just not good. It's not good at all. Vanguard. This is a very good, solid ship to pick up. Think of it more like a super avid cruiser because, in my opinion, once again, too many people kind of say there aren't any good heavy cruisers in the game. Vanguard's one of them. If you just treat it that way, it's mobility, it's turning, it's HE, it's AP. Even though it seems like small guns for the tier, it just somehow works really well in a good package when you don't treat it always like this, hey, let me just lob shells back and forth. But you're so maneuverable, so you actually can kind of dodge shells going back and forth. So highly suggest it. And also, once again, try AP every now and then. This is one of those ships where the AP actually works on the HMS line. So, yep. Verbus Unitas, if I said that right, this exists. It's a collector ship. It's very basic. Just get the Julio or the Agincourt or the Guilo. Like, there's other even tech tree ships that are just better than it. Yeah. Warspite, this is a very good ship. This is very much like a tier 6 Vanguard. Super solid, super maneuverable. One of the top ships of tier 6. I wouldn't say it's one of the best. Definitely, you can do well in it. It's a fun one. And plus, you get the historical value of it all. So, kind of win-win. The Weimar. So, this is looking, and I'm going to immediately put it into good, because the Weimar looks like a tier 7 mains. And that's incredibly good, in my opinion. That's going to be a very solid ship. Looking at how it plays in PC, of course, not 1-to-1. It should be without balances. But in my opinion, Weimar looks to be probably one of the new contenders of a very good ship coming into the game. I'm looking forward to it, and I really hope that it comes out in a good state. If it is just a lower tiered mains, that's going to be pretty solid. So, West Virginia. So this ship got a really bad rap a long time ago. It's great to buy because there was a whole thing where you could come back after not playing the game for a week and they basically give you a free West Virginia. So everyone and their grandma had a West Virginia, but it's super strong. It's super tanky. But bad players really gave this ship a bad name, a horrible name. I love it. I know so many people play it, and they love it. It's an amazing ship, but once again, it's just a super heavy ship. If you're wanting to go to the Vermont line and you like the West Virginia, then keep on going down the line because West Virginia will treat you well. It's a great ship. Mobility is amazing for it, and the guns absolutely smack hard. So I would definitely suggest it. Don't let history bring it down, because it really is an amazing ship. So moving on, we're almost done. Five more. Holy crap, what are we even at? I actually want to know. 1 second. 39 minutes. Oh, man. Okay. This is not taking forever. So, Yubari. This is niche. So, I think it's got like tier 8 torpedoes with it at tier 4. But you only get 4 of them. So, they hit like a truck, but you have bad arcs, but they're insanely long range, and you have decent guns. Like, it's there. It's kind of fun. You might like it. You might just unlock it via other things, but it's a fun ship for tier 4. And if you need a tier 4, it's not a bad pickup. The torpedoes are fun. I like it. I think it's a pretty decent ship. But talking about its up-tiered version, it's Yudachi, or not. Sorry, that's Yahagi. Sorry, Yudachi. If I can talk right, this is actually the arguably better Shima at a lower tier. And this is niche. Sorry. This one. Yudachi, better Shima, lower tier. Enjoy it. Have fun. You can do this twice a game, so I like it. It's pretty good. Yahagi. Sorry, let me go to the Yubari's bigger brother, if I can say this right. Or bigger sister, whatever. And like that. Yahagi, this is actually a collector's edition, and the problem is that they were like, hey, what if we gave it a crap ton of torpedoes, kept the horrible angles, kept the okay guns, because you're up tiering it now. It's not just good guns at tier 4, but okay guns at tier 5. But because we give it so many torpedoes, it literally has I think a minute and a half reload to near going more towards the 2-minute section. It's just, it has its gimmick. You can do it. It's a massive damage, but if you miss, good luck surviving. It's just a huge ship. I wouldn't suggest it. I actually ended up selling mine, but let's talk about a ship that I absolutely love and adore, and I think it goes right into the good section. It's the Yoshino. So this ship changed my original thoughts of it once I got it. It actually got a buff as well, and I played it. I actually really fell in love with this ship. It's an insane ambush ship at tier 10, and the guns mixed with torpedoes are just an incredibly strong unit, let alone its skills. It has the good combo of rapid reload and precise aim. Now, of course, they're only level 1, and it's got horrible armor like the Azuma, but those torpedoes just help it really push it far beyond that playable section so that you get one set of those off. It's a lot of damage. And I love the Yoshino. It's an incredibly good ship. Armor sucks, but even worse, and kind of even worse for other things, is that its HE is actually remarkably good, and a lot of people forget that you can use it on it, which means that just shows how much the Goliath really needs a buff. But yeah, I just don't use it as a typical battlecruiser all the time. So make sure you watch out for that. But outside of that, it's a good ship overall. I enjoy it. I've seen so many good players ever since the buff. I think that was the right buff in the right direction. So Yoshino, if you want it and you like that playstyle of ambush with big guns and a lot of torpedoes and just a general battlecruiser feel, might not be a bad point, but definitely always remember your armor doesn't hold up. So yeah. And to end us all off, the Z39 goes right into niche. This is basically a swapped out German DD with Rapid Reload 1. Yeah. Kind of ended on a rough note there. But if we skip over to the Z39, we get the Yoshino, which was a great way to end this entire thing. But here, is the entire chart. Let me quickly grab and actually see this. Just slowly scroll through. What I really do think is this shows that there's a good amount of really good premiums, really solid premiums, niche premiums, playable premiums, and actually not too many horrible premiums when you actually look at the overall assessment of it. So I think realistically, we're in a good time to buy a ship, really. So, you know, if you are wanting to put the money into the game, it's there. This game is a lot of fun in my opinion, and I enjoy it. The premium offerings are always fun to have, but you don't always need to do it. You can do a free to play account in this game. It's not exactly crazy hard, more of just, port slots and a few other things, but I think the Blitz passes kind of fixed that. But overall, this is a great little setup of all these ships with the premiums and what my opinions and rankings are. So please let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to know them. Join them on Discord. We'll obviously have extra comments and discussion there as well. But yeah, thank you. I hope you all enjoyed this. This was, we're at 45 minutes on this one. Yeah, fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Hopefully everyone enjoys this. Yeah, like, subscribe for more content like this. I'm hoping to put more reviews out at a later date so that I actually can change up and not do so many tier maker videos. Gotta kind of do a healthy variety of everything. But don't forget, join the Discord. The link is down below. Thank you to all the Patreons for all the support. Y'all are awesome. If you want to help support, link is down below. And yeah, it's just some videos if you have any suggestions in the comments. But yeah, as long as I can get gameplay video of it, which has actually been really hard recently. I don't know why, but I digress. Have a wonderful day. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, have a good one.